What's going on, beautiful people? You have your boy Lando Success, and it was very much requested the last time I brought Mr. Calvin Russell on the channel. You guys loved it because we like to merge crypto and credit. He have a channel where he focus on helping people build their credit, buy cars, buy homes, change their lives. I have the crypto, I have the finance side, and you merge two of them, you got both of them going. How you doing today, Calvin?
Doing well, man, and yourself. Thanks again for having me as well.
Hey man, since you on here, we gotta drop an exclusive bomb for you, brother. We gotta drop an exclusive bomb for you. So this the deal, people. This was going on. So I was talking to Calvin earlier, and he ended up letting me know something big just happened, and I'm about to screen share it, and I'm about to show you guys. And in the comments, you can give us your opinion, your thoughts on it. In the meantime, press that like button and share button. All right, you see it's a TransUnion to allow crypto lenders to check your credit report. And if I scroll down and say consumer credit reporting company TransUnion will enable consumers to give credit lenders access to their physical credit data, and a move that can greatly expand the possibilities of lending in the digital asset market. And it talks about it. They say TransUnion is offering a facility through security firm Spring Labs, which most of us heard about. Spring Labs, guess they talked about it, and they have a lot of different bullet points. One, they say we believe in the growth potential of DeFi, or decentralized finance, said Steve, the president of the U.S. Market and Consumers. And the statement, providing credit and identity data on chain is such a huge step towards improving the financial products in this space. So since we have Calvin and he is our credit person, and he got me with the crypto, want to see what's your thoughts on that so far, brother?
Man, well, first, thanks again, for having me. It's always great, when we do collab videos and such. But let's get straight into the meat and potatoes, right? Honestly, I think this is a move in the right direction for people that are looking to use, their cryptocurrency portfolios, as a means to say, hey, listen, I'm a legitimate investor. And I think that cryptocurrency in general, it gets such a backlash. But as of recently, right, some things that you've been mentioning, especially on your channel, crypto.com, and then you also see certain sponsorships that's in cryptocurrency, like in basketball, things of that sort. It's almost like, what else do people need to see? And I think that this is again another, I would say confirmation that if you are in this industry or you're looking for validation in a sense, this is it. When you think about like credit bureaus, of course you got the big three, right? Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. The thing is that people have no idea. They're more than just credit bureaus, right? They actually help financial companies make the decisions to do things that we do on a day-to-day basis. When we're talking about credit cards, when we're talking about getting an apartment, when we're talking about getting a car, when we're talking about buying a home, and there are many cases where some employers still check your credit score. All of that plays a major role. So you're talking about a third of the data that comes from people that usually make decisions is saying, hey, we see where this is going, so much so that we're willing to change how we kind of do things and provide you with enough customer data, so you can start extending loans out to people that have, cryptocurrency. Because for those who don't know, when you're buying, like, let's say for a house, they need to see that you have a certain amount of money saved. They need to see that you have a certain amount, a certain credit score, a certain DTI. All of that plays a role because they're looking at a 30-year commitment. When you're borrowing money, such as a loan, in most cases, it's usually about 5 to 6 years or less. Either way, when you're borrowing that money, when you're looking at something that was quote unquote in the black market, or something that you really couldn't quote unquote trust in a sense, now you're seeing the legitimacy of this man, it's a step in the right direction as far as using cryptocurrency, as a new means of real currency. And when I say real currency, I'm talking about think like, you don't have to sell people on the dollar. You don't have to sell people
Yep.
on quarters and pennies and stuff. But cryptocurrency always is like, it got to be explained. So, and I feel and I feel like this right here is showing you guys that this is a major step for sure. And by the way, TransUnion did confirm that this won't be ready until the end of the year. That just goes to show you how serious they are to put this in place and put this together to where there's no laws being broken, because we know that there's some things that still hasn't been accepted on the federal level. However, this is huge because it starts off with small banks, but it's most definitely going to be inside the bigger banks when people start using cryptocurrency for much bigger items like buying homes and things of that sort. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to move in that direction, because if you look at the housing market, since it's so hard to buy a home or something right now, I'm
Yeah,
seeing people offering crypto. They offering all type of different incentives just to be able to get the house over
yeah,
somebody else, because they have a, lower availability of it. But this is definitely
yeah,
moving in an interesting direction. I believe they're trying to do this because cryptocurrency is moving so far ahead than the rest of the government. They want to centralize it as much as they possibly can, or try to
yeah,
take advantage of it. And they do have different coins such as Compound. You got Spell Token I've been talking about on my channel. Well, most people
yeah,
don't realize the average APR, APY, whatever you're getting, or of a yearly return, if you have it in your savings account, you are really getting less than 1% on your money. Where some of
mm,
these coins, you can just literally stake your
let
money
it
in
sit.
there and earn
Yeah.
10%, 15%, some doing 1,000%, but the higher the
Oh,
percentage is
yeah,
more of the risk you have to deal with.
correct.
Now, so for those that don't know, I'm screen sharing, and Calvin just broke a video. It's at 23,000 views. It's official. Is it Navient cancel billions in student loan debt? More to
Yeah,
come. So a lot of people, every day we see an article, we see people complaining
yeah,
or talking about canceling student debt. How
yeah,
can we cancel student debt? People was pissed off and mad at Biden because they said, cancel student debt, get in, and they like, hey man, we just gonna push it back another few more years or whatever it is. So
yeah.
please break down to the subscribers what went on in that video. What is exactly going on with that?
Yeah, so just to give you guys like just a short version of it. Of course, you guys want the full version. You guys can always head on over to the channel. But the gist of it is that Navient essentially got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And what I mean by that is sometimes when honestly it's it's the great contradiction, because you get a situation like cryptocurrency where the government is like, hey, we're hands off, we're not going to be too involved in this, but you want us to trust you, right, government? And so then you have a situation where Navient, where we're forced to trust them, right, because they're saying, hey, you got loans out with the U.S. Department of Education approved by Sally Mae, and we're just the servicer, or known as the collector. And so we're supposed to give you your options of repayment. Long story short, Navient deceived a lot of people, And we're not talking about just straight up lying. We're talking about not giving people all of their options. For those who don't know, when you're repaying your student loans, which I know a lot of people are avoiding, but if you, but there's a lot of people, like for example, you can't buy a home unless your student loans are either deferred or you're in an IBR, which is an
I didn't even know
income-based
that.
repayment plan. Yeah, man, it got to be deferred, or which is normally automatic, right? But there are some people like that kind of in that gray area where it's not deferred. They're supposed to be on a payment plan, but they're not paying. And then you have people that's on an IBR, which is an income-based repayment plan. However, the income-based repayment plan is not affordable for everybody. So
Mm.
for example, if a person owes, let's say, $50,000 to $100,000 a year, they're more than likely going to be paying or supposed to pay somewhere between $250 to $500 a month. So you got $500 a month, then you got your car note, then you got your house. Don't have a kid, now you got to try to get married. So that's a lot to pay. So either way, long story short, 66,000 people are going to be getting their student loans completely wiped away because they went back. And just so you know, this is now, mind you, this happened right now in 2022. They're listening to phone calls from 2017, 2018,
Oh
2019.
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, this how long this is how long it takes to put something together. Unfortunately, to build that case up, and they're saying these 66,000 people were lied to blatantly, and they don't know their options. And because you lied to them, and we're supposed to trust this government approved entity, the least you can do is pay off their student loans. And then there's another group of people. There's 250,000 people that's getting millions of dollars of their student loans paid, but the math came out to $250 towards your student loans, which we ain't gonna say what it ain't, right? So,
yeah, when you do the math, it's like, oh yeah,
right.
we're gonna pay up to
Man,
15 million.
so,
then when you calculate it, it's like everybody get $15 each.
Man, it ain't nothing. But now, why is this important? Why did I do a video on this? Why are so many people watching this? Here's why. Even though the Biden administration, in my personal opinion, didn't deliver the way that they at least painted, they didn't deliver on the picture that they painted for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. A good group of I would say a great amount of people voted for the Biden administration specifically because of the chances of getting student loans removed at some point.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're not going to spend too much time on that, but I will say this. That's a lot for us to hang our hats on. We know, but that was the only option at the time. But this right here is now cracking open the door. It's kind of like, for example, if McDonald's gets caught having, let's say, I don't know, bugs in their meat or something like that, it's going to not only make you second guess McDonald's, but you're not going to start second guessing all of these fast food places, right? So when Navient gets in trouble, it's only right that we start second guessing NailNet, direct loans, and of course the new Aid Vantage, which actually just bought those loans out. But here's what I want you guys to go. I want you guys to go deeper than this. If you haven't already, and because you guys love obviously cryptocurrency, and you guys are currently watching, me as well too, with with credit.
Gail in the building. Deal. What's up, Gail?
Man, you guys gotta go watch the movie called The Big Short. Okay,
if I haven't seen that,
bro, listen. It's a movie that will have you on the edge of your seat. That movie got nominated for 11 Academy Awards.
The Big Short, is it new?
Bro, this. So check this out. Let me just give you this.
Let me know in the comments if any of you guys seen The Big Short, because I never heard of it.
Man, you got to watch The Big Short. So check this out. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel where it goes into student loans, but I did a video about 2-3 years ago where I told everyone this was going to happen. This wasn't like a conspiracy theory. This is just how the economy works. Check this out. I'm gonna break it down to you like this. The Big Short was more so breaking down why 2008 happened, right? But see, you guys I'm gonna have you guys dig a little bit deeper. If you pull out your cell phone, we all got cell phones, right? You pull out your cell phone and you say, okay, out of all, let's say you narrow it down to, let's say, 100 friends. Would it be safe to say that maybe 1 out of 10 of your friends own a home, like right now? It's probably safe to say that, right? That's a decent number. Even with those numbers, look what happened in 2008 with just 1 out of 10 of your friends owning a home. Now let's look at those same 100 people. How many of those 100 friends that you have student loans? I'll wait for an answer. Right? At least 80, 90%. So if 2008 happened, if 10% of the economy owned a home, what do you think is going to happen when the economy
80% of people have student loans?
Bro, that's number one. I'm going to go deeper than this. That's number one. Number two, when 2008 happened, it hurt the banks. It hurt people. Here's the problem. The bank could at least go get a house and do what? Resell it, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the problem with student loans. What are you going to get if people don't pay their student loans? You can't go get their degree and then resell that, right? So
nothing tangible with the house always is tangible. They can, all right, you ain't paid. Hey, you gave me $50,000. You ain't give me the rest of it. I'll take the $50,000 and I'll resell it to somebody else, and we can do this forever.
Absolutely. Here's the third thing that's going to piss you off. When you look at if you look at the average person has $50,000 in student loans. But if you go back in time, look at where that money actually went. Did you know that the average person usually gets $3,000 a semester in refund checks, right? So if you're
Hmm.
getting Orlando, I don't know, did you go to college and get a refund check by chance
I
back in
went
the day?
to community college and you got one. Hmm.
Okay, cool. But you got a refund check, right?
Yep,
Do you remember how much was it back then?
probably 1,500.
About 1,500, right? Now I went to another school and ours was about 3,000 or so, right? But let's do the math on this. So let's say if I would have graduated in 4 years, which is 8 semesters. So and on average, I got a $3,000 refund check. Guys, come on, we all passed second grade math. If I'm averaging 3,000 in refund checks and that's 8 semesters, that's 3 times 8, that's 24,000 in refund checks. Let me explain something to you. When you
But
buy a
is
house,
it a refund check? Do you got to pay it?
that's the thing. No, here's where I'm going. Name one place in the world where you can say, "Hey, bank, let me borrow money for what I'm trying to do, and if there's any money left over, let me keep that." When you buy a house, they don't get money back or over time specifically from the loan that you took out. When you buy a car, you don't get money back specifically from the loan that you took out. Only when you went to school did you borrow money and then you got money back. How in the hell am I getting anything back when I didn't ask for it? You forcefully, purposely put me in debt. This is the fourth thing that's going to piss you off. When we all went to college, we was 18 years old, no job, no income, no cosigner, no credit, and you just gave me, X amount of dollars, and there's money left over. But if I want to start a business, I bring you a business plan and you deny me, and it could be a legitimate business. You say no. But if I want to go to school with no job, no income, no credit, no cosign, no nothing, I got money left over. Guys, we
Make
have
it
a
make
problem.
sense.
Make it make sense. And so now, don't get me wrong. I've been kicked out of some financial Facebook groups because people was like, "Man, you make sense," but at the same time, we're kind of upset. You're upsetting us because what you're saying is almost like we should be mad at ourselves in a sense, not necessarily, but it's more so the fact that we've been set up in a sense. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't Illuminati stuff. Guys, let's just think about this. If people said simply no to the who the hell gonna say no at 18 years old to $1,500?
Nobody.
Who gonna say no to three? Nobody said
Nobody.
no. No, and then people then said, "Well, I did what I thought. Well, I did the smart thing. I paid up my rent. I sent my mama some money. I did this. I saw y'all at these college parties. Y'all was blowing that money. Here's the thing: it's not so much about what we was doing with the money. It's the simple fact that we would be at least half less than the student loan debt that we actually owe if somebody would have just told us that taking that refund was optional. Nobody ever gave us that. And that's why the fact that Navient, they actually messed this up for the entire industry. But you guys know how things go. This is just the stuff that the government has told us that they're in trouble for. We can only imagine what's to come. And so they're indirectly fixing the student loan debt problem, but it's not coming directly from Biden. So, but either way, that's
Woo,
what I know.
that boy is
Yeah.
preaching. She say, preach, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that is sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate.
Right.
that boy good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Absolutely,
yeah, he is definitely he came with the heat today, you guys. If y'all have any questions in the comments, you can leave them. I have another question because the year is 2022. And since I do videos about finance, what's going on in the market, every other day I'm noticing two things. One thing is saying the housing market is crazy and it is not expected to go down with people buying homes. And the car industry market, the average price of a car I read yesterday, I think was $30,000 a car, and for like a luxury car, it's 67,000, something completely crazy. So my first question is, in the housing market, if you are a first-time home buyer, it seems like it is so much harder for somebody that's a first-time home buyer versus somebody that already have cash, because now these banks can just go with John Doe that got this cash versus a first-time home buyer and trying to get this tax credit and not being able to do it. So what is your recommendation or advice for somebody that's a first-time home buyer in 2022, or should they just not buy a home?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. So it's kind of like it's one of those difficult things, right? It's kind of like, let's say, for example, you're 60 years old and you walk into McDonald's and you say, man, you know what? I was going to buy a Big Mac, but I don't want to buy a Big Mac at $5 because when I was growing up, it was 50 cents, right? So no matter to that 60-year-old person. So it's difficult to make that decision when you know that it was cheaper. However, it kind of falls into that conversation with like taxes and gas prices. It's just something you just can't control.
And just to cut you off, it's so funny
Yeah.
because I got my condo I'm in back
Yeah.
11, 12 years ago for
Yeah.
it was like $49,000. Literally on a golf course, 40, and this is when the market crashed and it was all bad and everything. And now, it's about 200,000. And I was showing that to my sister and she was like, man, I'm not getting no house. I'm like, what? She was like, cause you paid only 50,000. I'm like,
you can't,
but that don't,
that don't 1,000%.
Like what that got to do with you? Then you got to pay what the market is. I can't help you, but it just, that was so funny to me. Cause she literally was like, what I'm going to do that for? If you paid only 50,000, I'm going to wait. What?
Yeah. And so, you know what? I'm going to be honest. We do get some clients that say, hey, Calvin, you know what? I'm going to hold off and wait to see what's going to happen to the market. Here's what you guys got to realize. The banks will always be 10 steps ahead of us. Okay. So think about it. When there's low inventory, the banks and there's like when there's low inventory, the interest rates are also low. When there's high inventory and and the market is starting to crash in a sense, and there's so much property available, the banks are still going to make their money. So you're going to have a higher interest rate. So I would say, listen, guys, don't try to figure out the best time to buy something. Well, I should say at least in real estate. But again, if you're looking to buy a single family home or even a rental property, don't get me wrong. If the prices are substantially greater, like when the market crashes, you can wait for that. But at the same time, it's just one of those things you just really can't really control right now. It just honestly just really can't control it. And even in Lando's example, going back in time when the market crashed, you got it at a great price and now it's worth a certain amount. That's just how the economy goes. But if you guys want to go that route, you're going to have to wait every 10 to 12 years every time that something like that happens. Because think about it. The last time the market crashed was 2008. We've been on a roll. So, I mean, it's a matter of time, obviously. But to keep things real simple, if you're a first-time home buyer, guys, it's so easy to buy a home. It's easy to buy a home now. It's easy to buy a home when the market crashes. It's all about the team that you work with. This is why we sold 98 homes last year, and the year prior we sold 36 homes. Okay, this is why we're helping people improve their credit scores and qualify for home ownership, because buying a home is honestly so easy, but only when you have the right team in place. You got to have the right lender. You got to have the right attorney. You got to have all this stuff. And of course, on my channel, I'm never trying to just plug the channel, but it's a lot of videos.
You definitely on my channel. You can plug your channel. We both out here. We both out here winning.
Yeah.
It looked like you got one of your people, one of your haters and supporters that came over here. Somebody said a Big Mac at McDonald's was never 50 cents. At least give a real scenario, Calvin. Jeez.
Oh man, listen, let me tell you something. First off, there's a beautiful thing called Google. Okay, Big Mac, and I'm gonna just type in 50 cents. Okay, I'm just gonna see here.
My subscribers don't ever do it. Oh man, what's going on, y'all? So everybody that just came in, what's going on? I hope all is well. We are talking. So just to go back to what we was originally talking about. I'm going to screen share and show you. TransUnion came out with some new information a week ago. They are allowing crypto lenders to check your credit report. So that is the origin of this video. We was basically talking about that and saying that is overall a good thing for, for the market moving forward. I don't like the transparency with it. They didn't really address on their goal, what did they want to do, how to do it. They said the time frame towards the end of the year, which probably not going to happen. But what Calvin's side was, it is good because it is legitimate. Can you say the word? Making Bitcoin look more legitimate versus how it was years ago. Because when you got the big names companies coming in and saying, yo, this is a stamp of approval, now everybody want to get in. He said, y'all
Absolutely.
mad for no reason. Get your burgers together.
I got you. I got you. All right. So I love when we got people like that. I do, because the
It,
thing
it
is
help out
that,
the YouTube algorithm. Any comments is
listen,
always good comments if you ask me.
I'm sharing my screen right now. Back in
Hey.
1969, it
Oh,
was
I'm putting it on the
49 cents.
screen. Let's go.
Listen, back. So this is easily Googleable stuff. By the way, I worked at McDonald's for 3 years, and I know, and the McDonald's University is here.
Don't tell me you
Is
came with the receipts.
Bro,
Don't
listen,
tell me you came with the
I've been
receipts.
there. I was the youngest manager in the district back in 2000. Back in that time frame, man. But either way. But my point in saying that is that when people are making that decision, you guys, sometimes we're creating a puzzle for ourselves. We're saying, hey, you know what? I would do this if that. And really what it is that sometimes people just don't have enough information to make that move on home ownership, for example. And sometimes people don't mean to be negative or say, or sometimes they just don't know. We don't know what we don't know, right? And so that's the thing. When you try to make a decision based on something you can't control, like market pricing and things of that sort, the thing is that you got to decide what's best for you. I mean, for example, you got to pay to stay somewhere. You either paying to stay somewhere, you staying with your family or your friends, or you may have a cash out relationship. I don't know what you got going on, right? So, but
But
either way, when you are able to put that together and you say, you know what, I got to pay to stay somewhere, it may as well be, on my own for sure. Okay. So, but either way,
So man,
yeah,
I greatly appreciate you. See, we can do this. We can do this for hours. I went on his channel before we came on. So make sure y'all go over there and press that like button. Leave a comment, leave some love, leave some hate, some critique. We
yeah,
all about the YouTube algorithm, so anything work for us. So plug in your channel, whatever deals you got going on, my good friend.
say that again. I'm sorry.
I said
You kind of
plug
went out.
in your channel, what good things you going
Yeah.
on, how can people reach you?
Absolutely. So yeah, you guys can join 52,000 other followers as well. They love the content. We've been dropping free gems for quite some time, over 520 something videos that we've been doing
Jesus.
for the years, man. Giving people the insight. I sold cars for 6 years. I wanted to make sure people knew how to at least buy a car, refinance it, things of that sort. That turned into real estate and to other things as well. And never, no bragging or boasting, obviously, never doing that. More so just letting people know this is legitimate information. This is why we come to YouTube, right? To say, you know what? I want that information. So you guys just but just YouTube search 850 Club. And by the way, guys, if you guys are looking for a legitimate company to help you with your home buying goals, your credit goals, things of that sort, feel free to stop by the channel, as well as you can always look at the Google reviews, as well. And you guys can always rent to people like New Techno Guy, because it doesn't seem like he's happy about anything.
Nah, he
But
said you can talk all you want. You have a 500,000. So don't
you know
buy
what?
a house.
That's the
Buy a box.
here, here's the thing I love about people like that is that what it is that you got, and that's the thing. Everybody's got to have a different perspective, right? So, for
Oh
example,
Lord.
if you truly think about it, someone has to work at McDonald's, right? So everyone's not supposed to be at a certain place. Not everyone is going to own a home. Some people have no problem renting for the rest of their life. Listen, anybody that has no problem renting for the rest of their life, please give me your phone number, because I have no problem collecting that rent for the rest of
Rent
my
for you
life.
for the rest
You
of
know,
your life.
so, listen, because let me tell you something, man, because they're banking on that. They're banking on that, man. But I hope this information was honestly helpful.
Yep. So everybody that come in late, because I know y'all gonna get in the comments, I missed the live. You didn't tell me what time. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I do random lives. That blame Calvin because he hit me up. Let's do a last minute live. So this
Yeah.
is unscheduled. So our next one we will try to have scheduled so y'all can ask any questions. So people that come late, if you have any questions for myself or Calvin, just put them in the comments and we will bring them up on the next video. And I look at this, more and more people coming in now, but make sure you guys press
Absolutely.
that like button, press subscribe button. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Calvin. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, man. Thanks again for having me, man. Thanks again.
Later.